Hey guys, this is Gerald over at Art Cyclery, and I'm here with our master fit technician Barrett. Today we're going to go over some basic bike fit techniques to keep you efficient and comfortable out there on the road.
For today's 2 tips, we're going to be using 2 simple tools that you can find at your local hardware store or your arts and crafts supply. The first one is an angle rule or an angle ruler. We're going to use that to determine leg angle. And the second one is a plumb bob. Now you can purchase one of these in this fancy model, or you can make something with a piece of string and a heavy object at the end so that it hangs in a nice vertical line. So to get started, we've got Gerald here mounted up on his bicycle and clipped in. So we're going to go ahead and have him pedal a little bit. Just a nice natural pedal stroke, like he's kind of just going down the road. And what that's going to do is that's going to do 2 things. That's going to get Gerald's pelvic bone settled on the seat where he normally rides comfortably, and it's going to give us as the fitter a chance to watch his foot at the bottom and see where he pedals his natural stroke. So once he's had a few revolutions, we'll go ahead and have him stop. Go ahead and stop with your foot down at the bottom, Gerald, for me. Thank you. And at this point, we've observed his foot, so we're going to place it at the bottom of the pedal stroke, which is usually the crank arm in line with the seat tube. And then, since we observed that Gerald likes to have his heel up just a tiny bit at the bottom of the stroke, we'll go ahead and we'll place him in that position. Now, go ahead and hold it right there. We're going to break out our angle iron here, and I'm going to switch sides. Now, in order to determine Gerald's angle here, we're going to look for 3 major landmarks. The top of his femur bone, or the hip here, the hip bone. The bottom of the femur, which is a little knob about halfway through the knee, right about there. And his ankle bone. We take our angle tool. We start up here at the hip bone, placing it there. Follow the femur down to the bottom, placing the middle of our angle tool there. And then lastly, we line up the bottom of the angle tool with the ankle bone, giving us about 40 degrees. Optimal knee angle at this position would be 30 degrees. Now there's a really simple math equation to determine how high or low we need to put the seat, depending on how high or low Gerald is, for example, off of 30 degrees. It's 1 millimeter per degree. So in Gerald's case, if we want him at 30 and he's at 40, then 1 millimeter per degree gives us 10 mil, or 1 centimeter. So we'll raise his saddle 1 centimeter, and that will put him at 30 degrees. Okay, so now that we have Gerald at the proper seat height, we're going to move on to our second adjustment, which is saddle fore and aft position using our plumb bob. So once again, we'll have Gerald pedal a little bit in the natural pedal stroke, like he's just kind of going down the road. And again, that sets the pelvic bone to where he's going to sit on the saddle. This time when we have him stop, go ahead and stop for me, Gerald. Stop with your foot in front. And you can pick either side, doesn't really matter. But what you want to do, I'm going to go ahead and move down here so you can see a little better. We're going to want the crank arm to be level with the ground. So how's that look? That looks pretty good. And again, we put Gerald's foot in the natural position that he likes it to be in. And then we have him hold that spot. So Gerald, can you grab the rear brake for me and just kind of hold it? Sure. Perfect. Now we'll take our plumb bob, and we're going to come up here to the front of the knee, and we're going to place our plumb bob right at the front of the knee, just like so. And we'll push the knee in a little, even though that's not a natural riding position. It helps our plumb bob line hang nice and level. So, it looks like Gerald is in a great spot. You usually want the plumb line to hang right at the end of the crank arm, just like that. Here's an example of a saddle position that is too far back. So what we're going to want to do at this point is move it forward about 1 centimeter.
So those were a couple bike fit tips from our master fit technician Barrett. If you have any questions about your fit, don't hesitate to call us at our toll-free number or shoot us an email at info@artcyclery.com.